pleasure to have you on board. Just a couple of minutes past 10 a.m. Nairobi, East African time. I trust that your weekend was well and that your Monday has started off well as well. Good evening, good afternoon, depending on where you're tuned in and joining us today. I'll go quickly with the headlines and then I'll bring in my panelists and we'll have a conversation over some of the stories. And also today we shall base our focus on President Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy. He has been the last mile of launching and commissioning a lot of the projects that had been started during his tenure. So we shall be looking at the latest as far as President Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy is concerned. The Daily Nation, the main headline, the shape of Mount Kenya, how Ruto wrenched the mountain away from an unsuspecting Uhuru, and why Raila presents an ever-present danger. The story is on page 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. City residents to pay more for water in new raft of proposals. That is on page 18. The Treasury extends duty-free imports of maize by 2 months. That story is on page 22. And just a reminder, Kenya's elections, or general elections, is just 7 days to go. The Standard newspaper, the main headline, numbers that show the huge task for IEBC with 7 days to elections. The Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission has the critical duty to deliver a credible poll. The logistical enormity is unprecedented. The story is on page 4 and 5. And Uhuru to DP have had power but did not harm you despite your insult. President Uhuru Kenyatta yesterday launched the Nairobi Express and the Eastern Bypass, where he told off his deputy over claims that he would harm him. That story is on page 6 and 7. Ruto sells 30% share to Western. With 95% of the votes, we shall send Raila Bondo early. And Azimio dangles agriculture reforms in Rift Valley tour. Leaders from this region who called shots impoverished farmers who will revive agriculture through subsidy. That is what Raila said, and that story is on page 8 on the Standard. The Star newspaper, Raila and Ruto race in dead heat. That is according to the latest poll, and ratings show the candidates' support bases have declined, with Odinga registering a 2.6% drop. The story is on page 4 and 5. If elections were held today, who would you vote as president? William Ruto is at 45%, Raila Odinga 44%, Jakoya 2%, and a decided number of voters right now, according to the Radio Africa poll, is at 9%. Big day of electoral agency in final election preparations week. That is on page 6. I'm not interested in killing anyone, Uhuru to deputy president. That is on page 8. Mr. President, come to Bamba for your gift of 10 turkeys. That is according to a woman who expressed her joy and about a road that was constructed in her area that had really posed a nightmare to many residents at a place in the coast in Kilifi. And I read this story and it's quite heartwarming. Some of these little things, I think majority of us in the city, we are used to just having good roads, but there are places in this country that have never seen proper roads since the independence. So with the new approach on infrastructural developments that started with President Mwai Kibaki and later on President Uhuru Kenyatta also banked on it and ensured that the road network in Kenya was good, and not just in the cities and the towns, but also in the villages, has really, really changed a lot of lives for many Kenyans in perhaps ways, some of us will never appreciate. But for this woman, I read her story, and truly that road that was built there by the Jubilee government has really, really meant, life. Because according to the story, I think her mother lost her life on her way to the hospital, and it was such a long way, and the hospital, the road was terrible. So by the time they got there, I think she passed on, and then the hospital at that time did not have a refrigerator, and then they had to carry the dead body back home. So it was quite a nightmare for her family and many residents in that area. So President Kenyatta, touring that area in 2016 during campaigns, promised that he will build that road, and indeed that road was built. So that's why she's saying, for the president to go and get his a gift of 10 turkeys All right. So, because that road has really changed her life and the lives of people and Kenyans around that area. Thank you so much. So that is what we have on the local newspapers. Let me see if I can get something from the regional newspapers before I bring in my panelist. The Daily Monitor, the main headline, 30 years of truth. Celebrate with us. That is on the Daily Monitor. I don't know what Uganda is celebrating today. 30 years of truth. All right. I can't read well. The writings are so small. Or maybe I'm just aging. I don't know. New Vision, the main headline, head teachers get top-up pay. And then 12 killed, 12 missing as floods hit Mbale, Kapchorwa. That is the headline on New Vision. And The Guardian from the UK, local aviation risks collapse as only 38 of 90 airplanes are active. And then we go to the news. No, that is The Guardian in Nigeria. And then we go to The Nation in Nigeria as well. Planned attack, security on the alert in Lagos and Enugu. And Newsday, ministers, civil servants meet over salaries. And Daily News, CCC 6 new land revolution. And The Guardian, game changers. And The Daily Telegraph, Sunak pledges 4% income tax cut. So that is what we have on some of the newspapers across Africa and outside. So right now we are joined by Douglas Kirimi all the way from Meru County. Douglas, a very good morning to you.
A very good morning to you, Miriam, and also to my co-panelists, and also to our friends across the world. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where they're watching us from. And thank you for having me on the show, Miriam.
All right. And we're also joined by Samuel Tawish from Nairobi as well. I don't think he's in Nairobi today, but Samuel Tawish, good morning to you. Maybe tell us where you're joining us from.
Very well. Good morning to you, Miriam Ogutu, from our communication headquarters. Good morning to colleague correspondent Skipta Noi, Douglas Bundi Kirimi, as well as, of course, Gladwell and Dr. David Masanga. Of course, I'm coming to you live from Nairobi, albeit not from the usual place where I usually do my shows. And that's why you see I have unstable video and just chosen to do this link via audio, Miriam. Also, I'll take this opportunity, of course, to greet all our viewers watching the program from Africa and across the world.
All right. Thank you so much, Tawish, and thank you for joining us from wherever you are situated this morning. Kiptanui Sivanya from Nakuru, good morning.
A very good morning to you, Miriam. Good morning, Dr. David. Good morning, my brothers, Douglas, Olesesina, Gladwell. I'm joining you live from Nakuru.
All right.
Thank you for having me on this show this morning.
Nice to have you, Kiptanui, and we're also joined by Gladwell Kiragu, also from Nairobi. Gladwell, good morning.
A very good morning to you, Miriam. Good morning to Dr. David Matsanga. Good morning to my fellow panelists. Good morning to our viewers.
All right. So, of course, President Uhuru Kenyatta yesterday did not waste time. He did respond to some of the things that were said by his deputy the other day about because Deputy President had asked the president not to kill him. Yeah. So, and of course, from any right-thinking Kenyan, talks like that are very reckless, and those are things that can go to whip up emotions, and we know the times that we are in as a country is quite delicate. So I think it's up to our leaders to really be mindful of some of the things that they are saying. Some statements can be truly reckless, and to understand the kind of impact it can have to their supporters and others. So I think maybe that is where we start our conversation before we get into President Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy and, of course, the Nairobi Expressway that he commissioned yesterday. We are also joined by Dr. David Matanga. Doctor, a very good morning to you.
Good morning, Miriam. Good morning. Thank you very much. I was testing my internet to see whether it is now stable, and they expected the headquarters to tell me whether it is stable or not. That is all. I'm listening post. I'll be on the line as a listening post until 12 midday, and I'll come in with my show, the editor's memo. And I just wanted to test my internet. Is it okay? Are you picking me, all of you, all right?
It's fine.
Okay. Let Stephen tell me the strength. He can write to me and tell me the strength, because I've just done a few modifications on the line. Otherwise, thank you very much for the topic. Thank you. I wish you a good discussion. I'm watching and I'm listening. Where I will come in, I will come in. Thank you very much, Miriam. Welcome back.
All right, thank you. So as we look at President Uhuru Kenyatta yesterday, he was, commissioning the 27 kilometers expressway that we know was under test. It was opened for the public a couple of weeks ago for Kenyans to test and see. And I think while this road was being built, there was a lot of politics around it, and many wondered, will Kenyans even pay for that toll fee that was required for them to use, especially after the fee was revised? And, apparently the government knows its people very well. So Kenyans now have come to appreciate that road, and we've seen how busy it has been and the number of vehicles that are able to use that road. But before we get into that, President Uhuru Kenyatta has scoffed at claims that he is plotting to harm Deputy President William Ruto and his running mate Rigathi Gachagua, condemning the pair for their anger. President Kenyatta said he had remained silent as Ruto and Gachagua insulted him for 3 years. Uhuru said he had a right to support whoever he wanted for the presidency, adding that his issue with the United Democratic Alliance pair was their lies. When I respond to the lies, you are telling Kenyans, don't spin it. I want to kill you. You have been insulting me for the 3 years. Has anyone harmed you? Uhuru posed. The president said he had no time to go after those opposing him, much less now that he's almost retiring. There is no need to tell people that I want to kill you. Why would I plot to kill anyone at a time when I'm on my way out? That is the least of my worries. I have had power of all this time, Uhuru said. So perhaps the magnitude of the statement that Deputy President made when he was campaigning, was it in Kapsabet? And I'll start with you, Douglas Kirimi. Was it reckless?
Thank you. Thank you, Miriam. The Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, a man who has served with President Uhuru for years, not only in the presidency, but even in opposition, and who has been his friend, cannot accuse the end of state, the symbol of national unity, which is the presidency, and also a unifying factor for across the political divide and also across the country. Remember, in this country, not everyone that was supporting President Uhuru for the last 10 years when he was gunning for presidency and while he was at the helm. When you tell the president that, Mr. President, you and I should respect each other, but do not kill my children, are you alluding to a fact that the president kills people for him to remain in power? Are you saying that the president will kill your children because he hates you politically? Are you telling us that the president of the Republic of Kenya is a specialist in killing small children? And also, are you telling the people of Kenya that you have become this petty, that you have to draw attention and sympathy from them by claiming that your children are likely to be killed by the president of the Republic of Kenya? And also, are you telling us that the president is involved in extrajudicial killings in this country that we do not know of? And also, William Ruto, in his reckless remarks, he has also gone out of his way to make sure that at the end of the day, he melts sympathy from the people of Kenya. For President Uhuru Kenyatta, a man who we have never heard of major assassinations in his reign, including for those people who are very vocal in insulting him, I've interacted with politicians in this country, and especially from the deputy president's side. They have said that the president is incapable of doing anything to them. That's why they have been emboldened each and every day. I have seen Bwana Rigathi Gachagua, a man who stole billions of shillings, over 12 billion shillings, and 200 billion have been taken away by the state, said that he took the president from the back, cleaned him, and made him president, and he has worked with him for 20 years. Miriam, all these people and the outbursts that they have also, the outbursts that they are sending towards the president are not right for the country, including Rigathi Gachagua, who had an opportunity of becoming president maybe wearing nice suits and also taking his own money and also going to campaign, was claiming to have cleaned the president from Aba and made him president. That is a very reckless talk. For William Ruto, who said also that he helped the president become president 10 years ago, Miriam, if I don't have a car today, I cannot help you to get a car. You cannot get what you do not have. You cannot give what you do not have. You cannot supply what you have not have been supplied before. You cannot be able to give what you don't have. William Ruto, for him to claim to have made President Uhuru president and also helped him the way he is, I've seen him today, this morning, is in Eldoret Town Center, telling the people that he cleaned President Uhuru Kenyatta and helped him to become president. He should have become president 10 years ago. Then now we should have said this year that this is the time for President Uhuru Kenyatta to become president. He is my political son. He is my political mentee. But for William Ruto and Mr. Rigathi Gachagua, men who owed illicit wealth, including Rigathi Gachagua and co., have no right to insult the President of the Republic of Kenya the way they are doing. The President has a right to support whoever they want to, Miriam. The President said that if the people of Kenya deny you an opportunity, he shall go home with you, and the country is going to go forward. And I asked a very pertinent question 2 years ago, Miriam. All these people that are yapping that the President wants to kill them and moving up and down and all that, if by bad luck they are not killed by anybody, but they died from a natural cause, or they just slept and died, will Kenya not move forward, Miriam? Kenya does not revolve around the two individuals who are claiming to have made Uhuru the President of the Republic of Kenya, Miriam. Becoming the President of the Republic of Kenya is such a big deal. Takes resources, takes the will of the people of Kenya, and takes a majority of the votes. For us to be able to know if you made Uhuru President of the Republic of Kenya, in the next 7 days, if Rigathi Gachagua and William Ruto, you need to also pull numbers like he did for 10 years, an assignable read for him to become the President of the Republic of Kenya. You have a chance to prove to the people of Kenya that President Uhuru Kenyatta was your own marionette and that you are the puppet master behind him that made him a force to reckon with. If you made President Uhuru Kenyatta president and also made his government and worked for him to become president, even to sustain his power, you have 7 days to prove that to the people of Kenya. But I thank God that the people of Kenya have an opportunity, Miriam, to go out there, vote, and elect a leader that is going to take care of the aspirations, the dreams, and also the interest of this nation for the next 10 years, the next 5 years, Miriam. And I believe from my perspective, Miriam, I'm not isolated. I'm not an isolated case. That the reckless statements from William Ruto are meant to earn him sympathy and break this country as we know it, Miriam. We've never had anyone accuse President Uhuru Kenyatta of killing their children. Why would you ask an innocent, why would you blame an innocent man like President Uhuru Kenyatta of an intention to kill your children, whereas you know that the race is not even about your children. The race is about who becomes the president of Kenya and who is going to garner support of more people to win the seat and also become the president of the Republic of Kenya. Let us not make the presidency a tool of blood and sweat that people have to pour blood because they want to defend you to become president. Miriam, I've said before, even if some of them quit today and say that they should not be voted for in the next 7 days, there's nothing much that is going to happen. There's nothing big about becoming president of the Republic of Kenya, Miriam.
Okay.
Not unless you are a date with the destiny that, and it is cast on the constitution that you should become the president of the Republic of Kenya, including those that will lose the next day. Miriam, this country is going to move forward. Over three people are going to lose this election the next 7 days, Miriam, and it's not a big deal. For President Uhuru Kenyatta, may this be your consolation, that your legacy has stood the test of time, and the people of Kenya shall remember you as one of the presidents who are progressive, development-oriented, and the people are men who had the interest of the people, aspirations, and the dreams of the people of Kenya at heart.
Okay.
For me, from my side, Miriam, I wish that Deputy President William Ruto would campaign on issues for the next 7 days, such that the people of Kenya will elect him based on his issues and also the way he is going to tackle problems that bedevil the people of Kenya. The issue of his children who are guarded by the government of Kenya 24 hours for the last 10 years being killed by his commander-in-chief
is not here or there, Miriam. Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay, thank you so much. Samuel Tawish, whatever Deputy President said over the weekend and the response from President Uhuru Kenyatta yesterday.
Thank you so much, Miriam, and thank you for Douglas Kirimi for your, of course, your contribution on this. Miriam, it's actually laughable that at a time President Uhuru Kenyatta has tried as much as he can to restrain himself, even in the face of such kind of huge provocation coming from Deputy President William Ruto and allies, that the DP can now have confidence and courage to come and tell the people of Kenya that President Uhuru Kenyatta could perhaps be after his life. And it's very good that President Kenyatta did give that response, because again, if the president was after Ruto's life or anyone who is associated with Deputy President William Ruto, then I'm very sure that he should have taken the advantage of being in power and done it about 10 or so years ago. I don't think that this is the moment President Uhuru Kenyatta is out to settle any scores with Deputy President William Ruto. This is a man who knows already he's losing ground, he has lost support, and he knows he's not going to become the president of the Republic of Kenya. And so what he's trying to do now is just but creating excuses where perhaps he wants to reject even the outcome of this election. You have seen him actually trying to throw all manner of excuses, all manner of reasons as to why he does not trust that this election is going to be free and fair, to the extent he's even blaming the chiefs, he's blaming the Interior Ministry to be colluding with the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, ostensibly to rig him out in the August 9th general election. So I believe this is a man who has already known he's losing ground. He knows he's going to lose in this coming election. And so he's just but finding excuses to actually justify his rejection and refusal of the outcome of this, of course, imminent election, Miriam. Without that, Miriam, I do not think that there's anything substantive that the DP was talking about President Uhuru Kenyatta. Because again, this is just but more trying to whip the emotions of people, emotions of the Kenyan people, more so maybe from his support base, and also trying to play a victim card, just trying to actually spread hate among the people of Kenya as we get into an election. It is foolhardy for DP to come out and say President Kenyatta is or intends really to eliminate him or to kill him. I've never heard President Uhuru Kenyatta say anything wrong against Deputy President William Ruto. For the last over 5 years, himself and the people allied to him, the politicians, have been moving left, right, and center to every part of this country, and more so to central region, where President Uhuru Kenyatta reigns from. He's been going there and hurling insults and hurling abuses, not only to President Uhuru Kenyatta, but extending the same to the first family. And the president has attempted as much as he can to restrain himself. He has tried to be a gentleman. He's tried to actually live to the expectation of Kenyans and to the definition of what a president is, what a leader is, and the person who cannot just engage with you in a public spot or even hurling abuses or exchanges to Deputy President and even the allies. Look unto the, of course, the allies of Deputy President William Ruto. The likes of Rigathi Gachagua, the likes of Ndini Nyoro, Alice Wahome, Moses Kuria, the likes of Kimani Ichung'wa, and others. They've been moving every part of this country, and more so to central region, just hurling abuses and insults to President Uhuru Kenyatta. You want to tell me President Uhuru Kenyatta has not had power for the last over 10 years? If he did, President Uhuru Kenyatta had any plot to eliminate Deputy President William Ruto, then he would have gone for him, say, the last 5 or so years. Why will President Uhuru Kenyatta target Deputy President William Ruto or anyone associated to him at a time when he's exiting power in the next 30 or so days? I mean, this is just foolhardy, and the DP is trying to whip emotions and spread hate among the people of Kenya as we get into this election. We must be very, very careful not to succumb to the provocation of the Kenya Kwanza coalition and just concentrate for the people of Kenya to concentrate, to go to the ballot and prove to Deputy President William Ruto that he does not have the support of the people of Kenya, and the same is going to be reflected on the ballot. Thank you, Miriam.
All right, and there has been a renewed Thomas anger from the Deputy President, especially from after that interview that Raphael Tuju had in one of the local television stations. So the DP said, "Stop engaging me, my friend. Kindly push your own candidate, Mr. President, please. Stop talking about me. Talk about your candidate. Tell us Raila's agenda and leave William Ruto alone." It's interesting that he's chose not to attack Raphael Tuju, because Raphael Tuju is the one who spoke about him in a way that made allegations that are quite hefty, but he has not bothered to go after Raphael Tuju. Instead, that anger has been directed to President Kenyatta. Kiptanui Sevania, what do you make of these new developments and, of course, President Uhuru Kenyatta's response to that outburst yesterday?
Thank you, Miriam. Thank you, Douglas. Thank you, Olesina. You see, Miriam, there must be something which actually came out after the debate. There are only two things. One after the debate, William Ruto was pinned down. Secondly, this meeting which Uhuru Kenyatta held here in Nakuru has bring a lot of cheaters on these people. Miriam, I have shared some, I think you might have seen on Mrs. Kuria's Facebook page. He's blaming our chiefs in Mount Narok. Mount Narok is a cosmopolitan. Mount Narok is inhabited by Kikuyus, Kalenjin, and Masais. You just come to Kiingo. Kiingo also is inhabited by Kalenjins in Teret and Kikuyus in this other side and some other communities. Why do you think Moses Kuria is fasting? He's telling chiefs over there, you want to incite people. You went to Gashia Farm, you held a meeting with Uhuru Kenyatta to incite people. You remember, those are the places it was made so much affected by post-election violence here in Joro constituency. And we are so worried. In 4 forums. One is called Neswet Sigwatik, Neswet Kurasampia, Kiingo, and this of Joro agenda. Many people are speaking with a lot of bitterness, condemning Moses Kuria. I think there is a deliberate scheme by Kenya Kwanza. They have already sent the defeat. So there is a deliberate scheme either to get sympathy votes or they want to incite the public. Is it timely? It is timely because when you say chiefs, you want to incite people to fight. It is one way of actually sensing defeat, and maybe they want to incite these people to fight. The last time Rigathi Gachagua was in Vikia. Vikia has been a not spot. Every now and then there has been war. These people are not living in peace. But their deputy president, Rigathi Gachagua, he chose to come there and say, Kalenjin, you see, what are you telling these people? On your left hand side is Kikuyus, on your right hand side, 50 meters boundary is Mauche, where these people have been fighting. So I think it is a reckless statement from the president. It is not good for this country, especially to some of us who are living in Rift Valley area. You see, yesterday, Miriam saw Raila Odinga was in Nandi Hills. Very good reception. He got a very good reception. But you know what? 20 kilometers or 25 kilometers from where he was, William Ruto was in Aldai. Miriam, who is actually an aspirant there. Miriam, I said earlier in subsequent shows that those independent candidates are strong candidates there in Rift Valley. UDA bungled their nominations. One is Alfred Ketel. He was denied, and you saw in mainstream, he was denied certificate for UDA after bungling these nominations. He's coming out as a strong candidate there. Tuwei, another one in Aldai, and the Tekla too. Kuseki, and all these other people. You saw yesterday in Indonesia, there was peace, there was a lot of calm. So I think when William Ruto sensed that Raila Odinga will be Nandi County and he decided to pass that Uhuru Kenyatta, don't kill my children. If Uhuru Kenyatta actually wanted to kill his children, he could have killed long time when these people started insulting him in 2017. He has no business of that. This is Uhuru Kenyatta who has done a lot. I have thanked God that in the next year we are moving towards his legacy that we will be unveiling, we'll be speaking what he has done. So it is actually, I think William Ruto might be also watching this television because his anger is enough. And it is actually bringing a lot of chaos, Miriam. It is a reckless statement, I submit.
And there are a couple of things that the DP has been saying when he's been engaging in his recent rants, and that is that President Uhuru Kenyatta has been meeting with the chiefs and DUs and all that at night to help in I think rigging these elections. If he was a responsible leader, as you would expect from a national leader, then I think the right way will be to write to the IEBC and tender some of these complaints to the IEBC. That will be the right channel for the IEBC to address some of these what he considers malpractices as far as the elections law in Kenya is concerned. But he has not done that, Gladwell Kiragu. even as we look at President Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy and look at his temperament and how he's been able to deal with some of these accusations and insults. And even the other day, President Uhuru Kenyatta said, you've insulted me, you've insulted my mother and things like that, but, I've taken it in and I've not been able to do much in terms of insulting you back and all that. So how would President Uhuru Kenyatta be remembered as far as things like this are concerned, and some of these reckless statements from some of our leaders, especially during this period of time that we are in at? Is it really necessary?
Miriam, let me start by in the Kikuyu culture. And this is where we are failing, and most of our elders, the elders of the Kikuyu, are failing, and the Kiamas, the Chamas. In our culture, the Kikuyu, and it is something that has been there, a leader is never abused. In Kikuyu, we say, Mudhamaki darumago. That is what we say. A leader is never abused, no matter how bad you are. You're not supposed to be pointed fingers at. You're not supposed to be insulted. And it does not only apply to Uhuru, for now is the president, even the next president, the next government, whether it will be Ruto, whether it will be Raila, it is still remains the same. A leader should never be pointed, a leader should never be insulted. Now, Miriam, with somebody like Ruto, he has been here and there actually insulting Uhuru almost day in, day out. And then the funny thing and the hypocrisy part of it is that he said that he has never abused Uhuru Kenyatta. Yes. Sorry for that. And Miriam, Uhuru, and I always say, is the most actually Googled president, I think, in the world. A president who is actually searched by many people, but a president who is never understood by many. Reason being, Uhuru does not flow with the way the people want him to flow. He does not flow with the way his deputy want him to flow. He's not dictated by the deputy president the way he dictates people around. Uhuru flows with the pace that, this is the right path for Kenyans, but only that we don't understand how he's working things out. And that's why some of these things we actually blame him. For instance, when the UNGA was high, everybody blamed him. When the Ukraine war was there, everybody blamed him, and the people who led the blaming was Ruto. You forget that actually Uhuru is not in some parts of the country and he cannot control the calamities that are happening worldwide. Miriam, I wish we can at least understand Uhuru Kenyatta and for once use our brains to think, because at the moment we're using somebody's brain to think. Ruto has come to Mount Kenya severally, and that is where his stronghold is, Mount Kenya, because he knew for him to succeed, he has actually to come back from where Uhuru comes from and tarnish his name and actually manipulate the people, because he knew the people will be so fast to understand him. And he started this thing not yesterday, but immediately after the second term. And these insults, even if somebody is standing and abusing you with the mother, because it is true. Somebody like Moses Kuria, who is always yapping right here center, Moses Kuria hananga breaks zamdom. We can speak anything and he'll say anything. But then you forget that somebody like Moses Kuria, the high chances of him going back to the position are very nigh, because he actually is in the Kiambu contestants. And with such people, and then there's something, Miriam, I want you to note about Moses Kuria. Moses Kuria insults, but at the same time, Moses Kuria, let's say, he's also a kigeugeu. He doesn't have a stand, because when he was in the hospital, I think in February, he said that the right candidate in Kenya who can make our country stand strong is Mother Karua. He had said that. Moses Kuria is very good in actually let me use Kiswahili. Moses Kuria ni mtu anataka kuacha kwa moto aruke upaki peke yako. That is what he does, because Moses Kuria can say something and all of a sudden he actually recollects the sentence again, and the blame falls on you. And Uhuru, we are used to him being insulted, even the mother being insulted. But as I've said in the Kikuyu culture, and I wish now this is where the elders need to come in, the church come in, because that is something that has been there. You're not supposed to, and I believe not only in our culture, you're not supposed to point fingers at the chosen one, because if he was not the chosen one, then something would have happened in between the 10 terms. And in between the time that they were in position, something could have happened, and maybe one is eliminated, but they didn't. They're still there. So this means Uhuru was the chosen one to be there. The next government that will come, if nothing happens, and those are the ones who are chosen to be there. It's high time we give our leaders respect that they deserve. Uhuru needs to be respected. Abuse him when he's out there, when he's not in position, because at the end of it all, Miriam, he is the president of Kenya. Ruto, at the same time, when he's abusing him, he forgets that he is still in the same government, and that is what pisses me off. He's still in the same government that is giving him the money, the same government is using the vehicles, the same government he's fueling his vehicles with. He got his vehicles he's using for campaigns, the same government. Sometimes as you open your mouth speak, Miriam, I think it's better you first look at yourself and then you see the people who are helping you, because at the same time it is Uhuru's government that is still helping Ruto, Miriam. So when he opens his mouth, can he also know who is directing these things to? I submit.
Okay. Thank you, Karanja. President Uhuru Kenyatta, of course, will be remembered to have mediated a couple of crises across the region and indeed across Africa. He will be remembered for that, and of course his approach as far as diplomacy is concerned. He's been known to be a silent diplomatic person. While you think things are not happening, President Uhuru Kenyatta has been busy in the backside, engaging with even some leadership from across the region. And before you know it, we see people are shaking hands and things have been worked out. The silent diplomacy, how does that translate back home? Is that how he's been handling, especially the tirade of insults he's been getting, especially from his deputy and his entourage?
Yeah, thank you very much, Miriam, and good morning to our viewers wherever they are watching us from. President Uhuru Kenyatta is a man who is known for his well-calculated moves when it comes to politics of this country. He seems to understand the terrain of our politics, and he knows where to walk in and where to stop and where things cannot work out. In 2013, before he came to run for presidency, in a ticket with Deputy President William Ruto ticket, President Uhuru Kenyatta sorted the issue of the bad acrimony that we had between the Kikuyus and Kalenjin by extending a hand of peace to Deputy President William Ruto. They had their handshake in 2012, and that is how they even joined hands to run for presidency in this country. That handshake signified an end to the bitter Kikuyu-Kalenjin relationship that has been there for years, since 1980s all the way to 2007. And from that 2013 to date, Miriam, we have not experienced any form of violence, any form of discrimination, or any form of forced evacuation or eviction from the area of Wasingishu and other Rift Valley counties because of that one particular act. In 2017, President Uhuru Kenyatta shook hands with his long-time political nemesis, Raila Odinga, and we got the BBI was born out of that, which was seeking to redeem this country and to bring complex solutions to the issue of divisions and tribal divisions that we had in this country. Although BBI did not go through, that idea, Miriam, shows that President Uhuru Kenyatta really cares, not only for his people in Mount Kenya region, but for the entire country. And that is what a leader should be, because when you are the president, you're not a president to the people who elected you, but you are president to the people of Kenya. And President Uhuru Kenyatta has really lived to that mandate. And after handshake of 2017, we have seen peace in all parts of this country. We have seen developments, and it's very interesting, Miriam, that President Uhuru Kenyatta never discriminates when it comes to distribution of national resources. Every corner of this country enjoys magnificent growth and a project courtesy of the national government. Therefore, these are presidents who have shown time and again that he means well to the people of this country, and he is a patriotic Kenya. On the issue of insults and how the deputy president and his team have belittled the president, have talked ill of the president, have tried to injure his reputation and his legacy, but President Uhuru Kenyatta remained steadfast. He gave them, he didn't engage in their insults, but he gave them a room to continue doing what they do best, forgetting that President Uhuru Kenyatta is a man who knows well that if you engage with an enemy in doing what he he does best. He will drag you in that level and he'll beat you pants down. And President Uhuru Kenyatta, in his wisdom, worked behind the scenes and ensured that this country, the development agenda, continue getting momentum. And that is why today we can sit around and mention 1, 2, 3 hundreds of projects that President Uhuru Kenyatta has accomplished. If he engaged with exchange of words with his deputy Miriam, we could not be experiencing what we are seeing today. And that shows that President Uhuru Kenyatta is a leader who can tolerate any form of a misbehavior from his deputy president, and that is what other leaders should emulate. And the next leadership that will come after 9th of August election, we need a leader, a deputy president, and a president who emulate and read from the bar that President Uhuru Kenyatta had set there. The deputy president, we need respect. We need people to respect the presidency. Even if we don't respect President Uhuru Kenyatta as a person, we need to respect the throne, that the presidency, that state, because that is a symbol of national unity. When you talk ill of the president, you are injuring our unity. You are planting a seed of discord, and that is not what we want for this country. Therefore, President Uhuru Kenyatta, on that, he has scored in a big way. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. And of course, President Uhuru Kenyatta's relationship with his deputy, I think will go into the books of history. And for a long time, it will be studied as a case study as far as leadership is concerned, not just in Kenya, but I believe from across the world. So the latest things that President Uhuru Kenyatta has done from yesterday, President Uhuru Kenyatta officially opened the 27.8 kilometers Nairobi Eastern Bypass Road, which was expanded from a single 2-lane road to a dual 4-lane carriageway at a cost of 12.5 billion Kenya shillings. Nairobi Eastern Bypass connects Mombasa Road to Thika Superhighway at Kamakis, traversing through Embakasi, Utawala, Ruai, and Ruiru towns, and was expanded as part of sustained government efforts to decongest Nairobi. And then also still yesterday, President Kenyatta officially commissioned the 27 kilometers Nairobi Expressway, which has been in use on trial basis since 15th of May. The $599 million a road elevated dual carriageway was developed on public-private partnership arrangement and stretches from Lolongo through Uhuru Highway to James Gishiru Road Junction in Westlands. At its peak, the Nairobi Expressway, the largest PPP, that is the public-private partnership road project in Africa, it is the largest PPP in Africa and serves about 45,000 vehicles daily and has reduced the travel time on the stretch to about 20 minutes from 2 hours previously. And 2 hours, I think that is equates to going to Addis Ababa and coming back. You're still stuck on Mombasa Road. It was terrible. And at the start of this project, I think Kenyans were wondering who's going to use, this road, because as we know, Kenyans, we can be very political sometimes, even when it's not necessary. So this project was criticized, and we wondered who was going to use this road, and then the issue with the toll fee. But you've seen after this road was opened for public, a lot of Kenyans using that road, including even matatus we saw before they were stopped because of that accident, had preferred to pay the extra amount for their convenience to use that road. So as far as opening up and decongesting the city, because I think these two examples of these two roads and others from within the peripheries of Nairobi has really helped in even Nairobians moving out of the congested areas in the city to other estates or other areas that are in the outside of Nairobi, because they're able to get to work on time and all that because of the good roads. So how would how will President Uhuru Kenyatta be remembered as far as these projects are concerned? And the story that I was telling you about on the Star newspaper about that lady in Kilifi County and how just a mere road meant a matter of life and death to them and has since brought a lot of change in their lives. I'll start with you, Douglas.
Thank you, Miriam. I believe the President of the Republic of Kenya will be remembered for his development record, and also how he simplified life for the people of Kenya, and also especially demystifying the presidency and how a president can touch a country and transform it completely. Remember, Miriam, when we talk about the transformation of the lives of the people of Kenya, when we talk about simplifying the lives of the people of Kenya, many people talk to me about debt, people talk about to me about Unga, but I'm looking beyond Unga, and I want to look at the road in Mondogash from Garissa to Mondogash road, a road that cuts deep into the desert, a road that has also been able to help people who are pastoralists such that they can be able to transport their livestock from one place to another, and also a road from Isiolo to Moyare, a road that has been able to transform the northern frontier in unimaginable ways, decongesting the city of Nairobi, the water to the people in slums, Miriam, people that were buying 20 liters of water at 20 shillings are getting free water. People that have never had electricity in slums have tarmac and also electricity. And also, Miriam, the bypasses that have also been put up in Nairobi, the eastern, the southern, and western bypasses in the city of Nairobi have been able to transform the city of Nairobi completely, also putting the Nairobi city on a map of transformative journey, and also making sure that we as a country have the benefit of the development projects that he has been able to bring around. Medium for since 1999, when electricity came to the neighboring villages in our village, we've never had electricity for these years, including in the Kibaki golden 10 years. It is in President Uhuru's term that my village for the first time will also experience electricity because there have been delays here and there, but today, as we speak, we shall have a transformer in the next 7 days or so. Or I think it is already in my village that we shall be connected with electricity, that people in my village, people in my local primary schools have also had their lives transformed. People are going to remember the President of the Republic of Kenya for connecting every primary school with to the national grid, and also to make sure that our children do not go home, or no longer go home to study using ratents. They are using electricity to study in day schools. A person in day school today equals to a person that is in day school, because they can study as long as they want, and they can go home, or their parents can take them home, or they can go home in groups. In villages, we know each other, Miriam. Away from the big projects in the city, the Nairobi Expressway, the bypasses, the western bypass, southern bypass, and eastern bypasses, people in this country, Miriam, will remember the President of the Republic of Kenya, especially the people of Kisumu, from Kisumu to Kakamega. The road from Kisumu to Kakamega is a transformative road that the president has been able to put up, despite the fact that for the last 10 years of his reign, these people have never supported him. Actually, they have started warming up to him when he started working with the Right Honorable Raila Odinga. There are different people in Kisii region, from Kisii to some parts of Kisumu. There is a road that the president has been able to put up that has really transformed the region, and also to make sure that the people now can access proper transport, good transport, and also they can transport their goods and also offer their services with ease. People in Turkana, traditionally who have never been a bedrock of President Uhuru Kenyatta's political support, who now appreciate the president for his transformative agenda on roads and also the bridges. I cannot forget the Kainuk Bridge, Miriam. And when you look into the coastal region that has always blamed the President Uhuru Kenyatta and successive presidents for the underdevelopment, the roads in Mombasa City County, Miriam, the Riwaton floating bridge, the expansion of the port services, and everything that the president has been able to put up across the country, Miriam, this country will always remember the president as a man that put his life on the line to transform this country, despite the political propaganda and innuendos, and such that, Miriam, our country has been put onto a path to true transformation and prosperity for all Kenyans and for every person. Whether you voted for Uhuru or you never voted for him, the people of Kenya shall always remember the president in good right, and also we shall always remember the president
as a man that transformed this country, put on infrastructure, electricity, the rail network in this country, Miriam, and also the expansion of airports and the revival of the existing airstrips across the country, Miriam. I submit.
All right, and I'm afraid we have to stop here because our time is far gone, but I'm sure the rest of us has so much to say as far as President Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy is concerned. And yesterday, while he was opening and officially opening those two roads, commissioning those two roads, the president also pointed out that his administration has built more than 11,500 kilometers of new tarmac roads, which have increased Kenya's paved roads network by more than 85% during his time in office. This, he said, has enabled 70% of Kenyans to access an all-weather road network within a radius of 2 kilometers of their homes. And the roads expansion, the president was also going to reduce traffic congestion in the Mombasa metropolis. The project include expansion of Mombasa Kwa Jomvu, Mariakani and Magongo roads into dual carriageways and building a new 8-lane Makupa bridge to replace the 93-year-old Makupa Tini Mwachache Kipevu Link Road and more international airport access roads, which have also improved access to Mombasa Airport. And I can absolutely attest to that. So we will take a short break, and then when we come back, we shall be coming back, and Doctor shall be leading us on the editor's memo.
Miriam,
Yes.
Miriam, before you break off, I donate some 15 minutes for the rest of the people to 10 minutes. At least let other people say what they think about the legacy, because mine will be only 20 minutes, and that will be enough for me to make a summary of the editor's memo.
Very well, thank you. So Samuel Tawish, your take on President Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy and some of these projects that he's been working to commission of late.
Thank you so much, Miriam. I think generally, Miriam, it's very quite rather evident what President Kenyatta has been able to achieve in as far as his legacy is concerned for the last 10 years he's been in office. And this is something that will go down in history. A president who has delivered so much for the people of Kenya, and I think also tried as much as he could to fulfill the so many pledges that he made to the people of Kenya. Even at the time we are staring at his exit from a state house, the people of Kenya will actually, the president will leave standing tall, and the people of Kenya will forever remain so grateful to President Uhuru Kenyatta for bringing such kind of development to the people of Kenya, one that will go down in history, Miriam. If you talk about the issue of infrastructure, you talk about healthcare, you talk about affordable housing, you talk about agriculture. I mean, there's so much that President Uhuru Kenyatta has really done, and anyone who really cares to see what President Kenyatta has been able to see will agree with me that indeed all these projects have been more of transformative, and they've been able to change the fortunes of the people of Kenya to a greater level. Because again, today, Miriam, when you talk about, for example, infrastructure, if you were to zero down on the issue of infrastructure, road connectivity, I mean, so thousands of roads have been built, tarmac roads have been built by President Uhuru Kenyatta's Jubilee administration. Talk about the issue of the famous SGR, all the way from Mombasa to Nairobi and now to the dry port of Naivasha. I mean, it's opening up that part of the country to of course, to this other side of the country, and of course also making it easier for people to move now from here to the rest of the neighboring countries like Burundi, Uganda, and maybe DR Congo. In itself, actually, it's something that is very, very prominent and everyone can see. Miriam, look onto the expressway that President Kenyatta was launching yesterday. I mean, it's one of its kind in the region, in the East and Central Africa. The time that people used to travel all the way from JKIA to come to Nairobi CBD, and maybe to those other parts of Kikuyu, they used to take a lot of time. But now that time is going to be reduced significantly. And when you save time, Miriam, it's about when you save time, there's so much you can do in terms of the economy. Because people who are stuck in the road because of the traffic snarl up along Mombasa Road. And now with this expressway, it will now be very, very easy. If you are even to take testimonies of people who have been using that road, they'll quite tell you that now it's very easy, it's smoothless, and it's very convenient for them to move from this side to those other parts of course, Nairobi. So in itself is also a milestone that President Kenyatta has quite achieved. The issue of manufacturing, Miriam, even from where Deputy President William Ruto himself come, President Kenyatta has launched so many of the projects. Look onto the Rivertex projects, one of its kind. I mean, jobs have been, people have been able to get jobs. I mean, we are able to get our locally made products, the one that are of good quality from Rivertex, not to mention the one in Kikomi and others. I mean, President Kenyatta has been able also to open these and so many other, of course, projects that the president has been able to open up. On the issue of, Miriam, on the issue of affordable housing, this is something that is ongoing. Of course, we understand it has had its own share of challenges, but the president has tried his level best now. It is a footprint that has been put there, a foundation which I'm very hopeful with the coming in of a new administration and hopefully Raila Amolo Odinga, he'll be able to continue with what President Kenyatta has been able to deliver for the last 10 years. We do not want an individual who is going to come into office and upset what the president has already done. We want a continuation of what the president has been able to do. If there are other projects which are still ongoing, these projects must go into completion, Miriam. So generally, President Kenyatta has achieved so much in terms of his legacy, and the people of Kenya are so much proud of their president, even as he plans to exit from State House. I submit, Miriam.
Thank you so much. Tanui?
Thank you so much, Miriam. I want to say as Uhuru is exiting the stage on 8 days, 8 days to that. We as people of Nakuru and the whole country are happy. Our mothers are now enjoying, as I said earlier, we have Margaret Kenyatta, mother and child. The mortality rate, the child mother mortality rate has been reduced. We have an Huduma center here. We have no Huduma center.
Miriam, can I come in? Tanui, just a minute. I just want to break this monotony that exist in 8 days. President Uhuru Kenyatta has 30 days. 30. So that is all the correction I wanted to make. 30 days. And Miriam, from the Constitution, you can see they give 14 days. If it passes without, then it is actually about 30 days before. If there is no petition, the president remains in office until after 30 days, then they can fix the inauguration and the swearing in ceremony, hand over to another president. Can you look at that?
Yeah.
Had you known?
Yes. What you're saying, Doc, is true. But also after elections, President Uhuru Kenyatta will have very, very limited powers. Also, maybe that is there. But President Kenyatta has about 30 days in office. Go ahead, finish up your thought process.
Thank you, Dakari, for that correction. Now, what I was trying to say is that since 2013 up to now, there are so many things that has happened in this country that people will be remembering our beloved President Uhuru Kenyatta. Now, we have talked of a very big hospital around here, level 5, which was actually constructed during his time. We have so many roads. Recently, you saw him, as my brother Darwish has said, about the dry port in Naivasha. We are also expecting to get a dual carriage that will run all the way from Maimayu to Mau Summit. We have also rehabilitated railway that will ease transport from here up to Kisumu. And also Lanet. I was coming in the morning and I saw
Okay. We seem to be having a bit of a problem from your network, Kiptanui. Can you hear me? Okay. Not so well. Please work on your reception. Okay. All right. We've not heard a bit of a chunk of what you say towards the end there, but thank you so much, Kiptanui. Gladwell Kiragu.
I'll start by saying Uhuru, for the people he has worked and he has delivered, and he's a president that will dearly miss. A president who actually was very humorous, a president who actually enjoyed this term. For instance, the other day when I was in Langata Barracks, you could see how happy he was even leading the choir. And something that I'm grateful this morning and the news that I've actually seen is that the famous Karimeno Dam is complete. This is a dam we've been waiting for it to be in completion, also for the people of Kiambu, because the supply area, it is the Kiambu County, Nairobi County, and the project will serve an additional 850,000 people in Ruiru, Juja, and some parts of Nairobi. Miriam, this is a dam because most of the people of Kiambu, the sides of Juja, for example, Juja farm, we've been having water shortage, and sometimes there's no water at all. But now we are happy that the dam is complete. So actually, I will always be enjoying. But the funny part of it is that, Miriam, if this dam was actually located in Nyandarua, the people of Nyandarua this morning could be singing a new song, because we know Nyandarua, how actually even the roads are very pathetic. I don't know what the county government does there. The roads there's no water. It is very pathetic. But in Kiambu, and that's why I say in Kiambu, people tend to be very ungrateful, because this Karimeno Dam has actually come to help us. I'm actually, and when I say there has been no water, there's been no water, because we have something like the Rujawasco, and sometimes what is supplied there is the salty water, which actually doesn't go well with the people. But with the completion of the Karimedo Dam, at least now even the water bills can be very low comparing to what the people were paying. So that is one thing. As Uhuru exits, we will remember him for, because that was our worry. Maybe he goes when the dam is not completed, but it is complete. Again, Miriam, there's this road we actually praying that he opens before he leaves. Past Keno. Past Keno, it has been done a dual carriage. It has traffic there. There's been a black spot, but also it's being expanded, and we pray that before he exits, it's also opened, because it will serve the people of Keno, Morang, Keno, Sagana, Kirinyaga people well, because it's also dual carriage. The one that has been opened here, the bypass, Miriam, you are there before. Traffic was chaotic, mostly in the morning and sometimes in the evening. It was very crazy. But now people are enjoying even smoothly going to work. And they have fun. The best part is with the roads. Also not forgetting my home area, the Gatondo Juja Farm Road. Miriam, I was in Juja recently, and I can tell you currently we are paying 20 bob, a place whereby we used to pay 100 bob. So you can see these are the achievements. We are actually happy. We are happy because our country has progressed. We are happy because we are also progressed from Uhuru's legacy. We are also happy because he has delivered as a president. And as I said earlier, Uhuru is one president that most of these people don't understand. Reason being, he doesn't flow with the way the people want him. Most of the deputy, and we all know deputy president of the Republic of Kenya currently, who is Ruto, is very good in manipulation. He's very good in wanting people to follow the way he does. But Uhuru chose his way, and that's why even when they're actually out here abusing Uhuru is just living his happy life, because as I retire, I've made Kenya great. I've delivered. It's just that the blind can't see what I have done, Miriam. I submit.
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. That from judging, I think President Uhuru Kenyatta is very content with what he delivered to Kenyans in the last almost 10 years now. We want to thank you so much for watching. Don't go too far. We shall be back with another show. This has been Good Morning Africa. Extended version is just a few minutes past noon here in Nairobi. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.